What Bible story would qualify as a Florida man story? Disoriented Florida man found on the beach claims to have spent the last 3 days in the stomach of a large fish. The sheer number of empty rum bottles nearby leads me to believe 3 things. 1, he was probably drunk as duck and there was no giant fish. 2, he's a dick for not sharing any with me. 3, he's the reason all the rum is gone. But why is the rum gone? Florida man asks for a bag full of 100 foreskins to man in exchange for marrying his daughter. Daughter's boyfriend returns with twice as much. Florida man gets swallowed by big fish while fishing. Runs around in circles until he was pooped out. Colin? An Arctic tern? Florida man goes on roid rage and kills 100s with the jawbone of an ass, gets stripped of his manhood by Florida stripper. If there's any figure in the Bible who embodies the essence of Florida man, it's Samson. Bitch cut off my mullet, dude. And she was a craplay, I did all the work while she just lied there. Florida man pulls 200 pounds door off of the gate of Gaza. Florida man caught with bag containing 200 foreskins of men from his neighboring community. Reports indicate this is the same individual who killed local heavyweight celebrity by flinging a pebble at his head several years ago as a teen. Florida men try to build a tower to the heavens, but abandons project due to poor communication skills. Florida women fight over baby until Florida man threatens to cut it in half. Can I get the legs? I'll take the legs. Let her have the top part. Edit, all you Lamas wearing hats people need Jesus. Or John Mulaney, whoever's more convenient. She is so ducked up, she calls the head of the baby, the top part. Florida man spends entire night in lion enclosure, emerges the next day unharmed. Florida man thrown into lion enclosure befriends lion, claims supernatural involvement. Wait, I've seen this one on Netflix called Tiger King. But even he got attacked by a tiger. Florida man trades entire inheritance to his brother in exchange for some baked beans. Edit, like pretty much everything Jacob and Esau did in Genesis is 100% Florida man. Florida man dresses up as goat to prank blind father. You won't believe what happens next. Florida man marries 2 wives and so does his brother. Florida man wrestles social worker in parking lot before gang feud. Florida man claims superhuman strength until Florida woman cuts off his mullet. Hell yeah, brethren. Cheers from Uruk. Florida man, whose wife went missing, claims she turned into something that looked like bath salts. Story of Sodom and Gomorrah? Yes. The bit about Lot and his wife. Don't forget the sequel. Florida man lets daughters believe the world has ended after their city was destroyed and mother was killed, so they get him drunk and rape him in a cave to repopulate the earth. I grew up in a very religious family and this was always the craziest story for me. It's like Game of Thrones 2,000 years earlier. We had the Bible on tape that my dad would put on for us as we went to sleep, instead of something normal like soft music. And I remember when it got to that part I had never heard it before, which needless to say led to a very awkward breakfast for my parents the next morning. Are you a Christian today? Florida man builds giant boat in backyard because the voice told him to. Next up, local zoo is baffled. Police investigation stalled due to inclement weather. Florida man impales couple after seeing them engage in extramarital coupling. Phineas the priest. WWFD? Hashtag X200B, what would Ferb do? Florida man paint store with sheep's blood. Said it was to protect his firstborn son. 3 days later drags his family through a river running from the cops. Not heard from again for 40 years. Florida man spends 40 years walking from Orlando to Miami, dies at city limits due to an incident back in '93 where he needed water and so beat a rock with a stick instead of talking to it. Florida man cuts his girlfriend into pieces after she is raped to death, mails them to every town in Florida. Edit, Judges 19-21. Florida man shoves girlfriend out of Airbnb, waits until she is raped to death, and then cuts her body into pieces and mails it to every town in Florida. Fifi. The important part is the townspeople surrounded the Airbnb, wanting to rape the man, and anyone really. So the man, in a coward move, sends out wife concubine. Like, what kind of welcoming party is that? I don't want a vacation there. This is a recurring thing in the Bible. When the men of Sodom surrounded Lot's house demanding Lot let them rape 2 visiting angels, Lot offered up his 2 virgin daughters instead. After Sodom was destroyed, Lot's daughters got him drunk and raped him so they could bear him more children. What the actual duck? Florida man kills pro fighter with a rock. Brings projectile weapon to a fencing challenge, bends rules but result is accepted. I mean, what are you gonna do, unkill Goliath? Florida man offers up daughters to horny mob. Oh Lot. She looked at her father. He stared at her too. He'd briefly explained what he'd promised to do. He told her the reasons, his motives and such. She said, in the silence, I hate you so much. Escaped from the fire, they came to a halt, the Ma had been turned to a pillar of salt. She looked to her sister and said, this isn't so bad, I have a solution, let's sleep with our dad. Florida governor sends soldier to his death to make the widow his mistress. That's King David for you. Oh no. That episode of VeggieTales with the pie war and the rubber duck. But you already have quite a few duckies, those are yesterday's duckies. Florida man, sold into slavery by his brothers, returns to prank his family. Edit, expanded storyline, Florida man with fancy coat, sold into slavery by his brothers, manages to become LT. Gov of California, pranks family when they come asking for food assistance. I think you missed the part where the slave became an Egyptian prince or something like that. It's been years since I last read this story. Florida governor tells Florida man to bring him the foreskins of 100 Californians in exchange for his daughter's hand in marriage. I'm not Jewish or Christian, so I'm unfamiliar with this. What story is it? It was in 1 Samuel 18. King Saul, instead of asking for a dowry from David for his daughter Michal, told him instead to bring him the foreskins of 100 Philistines. Rumor has it he wanted to make penis skin cape. What a relief. For a minute, I thought he was going to do something weird like make a mask. Calm down, Ed Gein. Left-handed Florida man stabs overweight politician with sword. The sword disappears into the politician's body, never to be seen again. Let's not forget that the only reason the guards didn't stop him before being ordered out of the room was because they already patted him down, but only for if he would wield the blade with his right hand. They didn't touch his inner right thigh at all. Also that they thought the king was taking a massive dump and didn't check on him until later. Lo, but for this irritable bowel syndrome, perchance my life be saved. Samson is a Florida man story. This is the right answer. The entire Samson story is a ride, and Samson himself is such a bizarre figure in the context of the rest of the book of Judges. It's like God was tired of sending wise prophets who nobody listened to, so instead he gives Israel the Hulk and just lets things unfold naturally. This is the greatest description of Samson ever. Local religious guy gets made fun of by a gang of youths for his lack of hair. He calls bears on them and kills them all. When it comes to the mass murder of innocent children, people always want to understand the killer's motive. Unfortunately, in this case, Jacksonville police say it appears that Florida man was overly sensitive about his male pattern baldness and initiated the wild animal attack as an act of revenge. Florida man with superpowers uses them to make alcohol. Florida man claims superpowers, tells others to follow in his footsteps. Millions drown. Naked man steals apple from local orchard. Blames naked wife, who in turn blames a talking snake. Or consider Florida couple lose all nude country club membership for produce theft, lay blame on talking snake.